Welcome to our video on some of the most bizarre wars in history. Today, we'll explore conflicts triggered by unusual circumstances, showing how misunderstandings or even sports can spiral into full-scale wars. Our first conflict is the Football War of 1969, also known as the 100-Hour War. This brief but intense conflict between El Salvador and Honduras was partially triggered by a soccer match. The tensions had been simmering for years, with immigration, land reform and national identity at the forefront. The immediate catalyst was a series of heated World Cup qualifying matches. In June 1969, El Salvador and Honduras played three emotional and contentious matches. Fan violence and political rhetoric intensified the existing animosities. After El Salvador won the deciding match on July 14, 1969, a full-scale war erupted. El Salvador launched an aerial attack on Honduras and advanced its ground forces. The conflict lasted about 100 hours, with El Salvador achieving initial military successes. However, international pressure forced both countries to agree to a ceasefire on July 18th. The war resulted in approximately 3,000 deaths and widespread destruction, particularly in Honduras. The underlying issues remained unresolved, and the peace agreement was only temporary. The Football War is remembered as an example of how a sporting event can become intertwined with political and social tensions, leading to military confrontation. Next, we have the War of Jenkins Ear, fought between Britain and Spain from 1739 to 1748. The war's unusual name comes from an incident involving Captain Robert Jenkins, a British merchant. In 1731, Jenkins was captured by the Spanish off the coast of Florida. The Spanish allegedly cut off his ear and sent him back with a warning. Jenkins presented his ear, preserved in a jar before the British Parliament in 1738, to highlight Spanish aggression and the need to protect British merchants. In 1739, Britain declared war on Spain due to growing tensions over trade routes and colonial interests in the Americas. Despite its personal-sounding origin, the war was part of a broader power struggle. The War of Jenkins Ear was largely inconclusive and eventually merged into the larger War of the Austrian Succession. It didn't result in major territorial changes, but highlighted the rivalry between Britain and Spain. While the war had significant causes related to trade and colonial expansion, it gained its memorable name from Jenkins's gruesome tale. Our final conflict is the Austrian-Ottoman War of 1788, known for the bizarre Battle of Caransebes, a notorious friendly fire disaster. In September 1788, Austrian forces camped near Caransebes in modern-day Romania. Some soldiers scouting ahead found Romani traders selling alcohol, leading to a drunken party. A dispute broke out when other soldiers demanded alcohol, resulting in shots being fired. In the chaos, some Austrians mistook their comrades for Ottoman forces. Shouts of an Ottoman attack led to a full-scale panic. The Austrian army broke into a chaotic retreat, with some troops firing on their comrades. The panic spread through the entire camp, and thousands of Austrian troops either fled or were killed by their fellow soldiers. The Ottomans arrived 2 days later to find the battlefield littered with Austrian bodies. The Battle of Caransebes ended disastrously for the Austrians, who lost hundreds or even thousands of men due to their blunder. The Ottomans claimed victory without engaging. Although this bizarre event didn't determine the larger war's outcome, it remains one of history's most infamous examples of military incompetence. These conflicts highlight how misunderstandings, personal vendettas, or even sporting events can spiral into full-scale wars, with outcomes often more absurd than tragic. Thank you for watching. Thanks for watching. If you have any thoughts on the events covered in this video, please share them in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe for more informative content, and check out my next video, where I'll be doing a deeper dive into one of these topics.